Hi. Hi guys. Say hi to my audience. Thank you for coming. They've been planning this for a while. You know, I don't think it's hard. We've been planning this for a while, but thank you for coming. So today we have Lilian, and I will let her introduce herself and tell us what she does and what she's about.
Thank you so much. Hi, Charities audience. My name is Lilian Mumina. I'm a clinical nutritionist. I live and practice in Kenya. I'm a health and wellness expert as well. So when it comes to matters, disease prevention, disease management, all matters nutrition and dietetics, definitely. So that's all about it.
So we'll go to the questions and then from there we'll bounce off each other and respond. So can you share your journey to becoming a nutritionist?
So me, I became a nutritionist, I think by accident, by mistake, by everything. Initially, I wanted to do law, but then my job teacher in high school was like serving, why don't you do teaching? Remember, back then, teaching was not taken so seriously, you know. It was like, no, I don't want to be a teacher. So he suggested I do this. Actually, he suggested when we were doing application, course application, that I actually do nutrition. I had no clue that course existed. So I just did it because we were beating the deadlines for application in our schools, in the former high school. That is how I selected nutrition. And fortunately, or is it unfortunately, I got selected for it. Because you see, I chose, it wasn't my first option. Of course, like most of us in the health sector, I wanted to do clinical medicine actually. So I selected medicine, Bachelor of Medicine at Nairobi University, and then Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition and Foods in Kenyatta University, and that was my second option. That is how I came to start doing nutrition. But that did not make me a nutritionist. So I did my degree, I paid my dues, I finished, I graduated my undergrad, and while in school I was doing a lot of marketing. So in my third year, I was actually thinking about leaving nutrition and actually pursuing marketing and sales. The main reason that I wanted to do that was because my lecturer, I will not mention his name, came to class one day and he just told us that we need to start planning ourselves just to communicate. So I remember another guy, he's called Rafael, I hope he watches the video. He asked him, what will you do? I was like, now you need to start looking for other things to do. So he kind of made us lose hope and we were in third year. That was very wrong of him, by the way. But so me, I thought, okay, fine. I'm not going to drop from school because I needed to have a degree, and nutrition was my first degree. I expected, so I had to complete. I don't believe in doing things and leaving them halfway. So I finished, and I was actually exploring marketing, as I told you. And then while at it, now the wellness and the nutrition craze started becoming more popular in Kenya. Because I remember in 2015 when I came back for my master's, I met a pool of like more exposed professionals in the health sector because our class was very diverse. Like we had medical doctors, we had pharmacists, we had population health experts. We had a lot of diversity in that class. And I think that made me want to go back to nutrition because they were praising nutrition. They were like, nutrition is the thing, it's the thing, it's the thing. The other guy won't mention names reserved. So it was like, you need to finish MPH and go back and do your MSc because that is the way that you should. And so I went. You remember that by then we had to do internship. So the main reason that I wanted to do my master's again, I was doing it for the wrong reasons. And one was to try and avoid the internship. So I was like, why should I go and work for 1 year without pay? I'd rather pay for my master's, and then find a way to maneuver without that internship. But unfortunately, Daktari made it clear that whether you're doing master's or not, you have to go back and do internship for licensing. Remember, I have created interest that I want to practice now nutrition. I need license, and my classmates who we had graduated together, some had already gone for the internship and they were really they were awarded the license, but they used to complain in the WhatsApp group a lot. So I remember in 2016. Now I needed to go back. So I went to Congo to apply for the internship. I really tried to get the exemption, but they were like, no, you did not graduate before 2013, so you cannot get exempted. So you have to go for that internship for 1 year. And I applied for it, and I went for internship, and I think that is what made me a nutritionist. Like, I usually don't lie when I say I was just a bachelor's holder before that internship, because I had undergone the attachment. I'm very good with so I can easily grasp things. Yeah, I am smart. I can grasp things very, very fast. So if I go to class and I'm taught something, trust me, I'll get it. And when it comes to an exam, trust me, I'll pass it. So I can say that I went through the coursework to pass and finish and get that degree because it was necessary. But you see, when I went for my internship, it was a different level of exposure from the attachment, because in my attachment I was doing it again for the lecturers because I wanted to get an A in that practicum. So I had to make sure that my logbook was filled well, I had to make sure my rounds were done well. But you see, for this internship, again, in as much as there was a goal for license, I feel like at some point I was doing it for myself, because you do something for so long, you have to start finding something that makes it worth it for you to continue. So after the 3rd month of my internship, I remember I was in Pika, and then I was taken to ICU. In the diabetic clinic, the CCC, there was a lot of communication with people. There's a lot of counseling and such, education. So the clinical aspect was not as much as it was in the ICU. So, and then there was a strike. So I stayed in ICU for like 3 months. And there was this guy, he was called Jesse, he's a clinical nutritionist, but they need to have him on this channel.
I think I've heard about it. Really around the time internship, he was a nutritionist.
Yeah. It's called Jesse. So Jesse was like, Mumina, we don't do this because we are forced to do this because we like helping. Let's do our best. And I remember I was like, now let me focus on this and be a nutritionist. And I thank God I met Jesse, because some of the supervisors in that hospital, may God forgive me.
There's a question I'll ask
God
about that.
But they made it almost impossible, but we thank God for people like Jesse, and we are hoping that those who come after us will have it easier because of the experiences like those ones. Like we have better people, kinder people who are willing to help and actually hold people's hand as they move their professional work. So I think that's my story.
Yeah, and by then Lilian is a member of the union. So that leads me to the next question.
Yes.
You see, most of the people like I get on my inbox usually ask, is the internship really important? Your elaboration to understand how the internship business has impacted you. Yeah. So right now someone is asking, my parents catered for my needs in undergraduate, and then I was going for that one internship. There's no pay. And then I don't know if it's true or not. I've had the internship is not mandatory. I don't know how to see that.
Those are rumors.
Those are
Let's
rumors.
treat them as rumors.
Yeah, just continue to report to go for that internship. So that brings me to this good discussion about the pay and just what can be done differently to impact this upcoming generation that really want to do for this country.
You know, I forgot to introduce that part. I'm also the national treasurer of the Kenyan Nutritionist and Dietitians. KUNAD. Now, as a union, when we started that union, we were all interns. The next committee, we were all interns placed in the different regions of the country. I was in Thika, the SG was in Kisumu, the National Secretary was in Kisumu. We had Rita with Thika, Liz, and many other members who actually came together and said, let's do this. So the main reason that we started that union was because we realized that, I remember there's a lady called Jean Wendy, so we went with her Daktari's office, and when we got there, the Daktari told us there's a policy that says that all bachelors or all degree holders should actually be paid a stipend of 25,000 and 4,000 allowance per month for an internship for 1 year. So, but there's nothing that he could have done because he was a regulator. It was not in his position to actually go and argue on matters later. And you see, classification of internship, according to the internship manual, is someone who's done training, who's actually now transitioning to professionalism. So it's like a pre-service kind of training. So, and he was like, no, we cannot fight for that. And we talked to NAC, the NAC officials, I will not mention names. We talked to them because remember we called them for a meeting in Thika. They came, we talked to them, and they still told us that they are going to push, but there was nothing that they were doing. So remember the SG, we had met earlier in 2016, and we had actually decided to propel the union agenda. And I remember I was like, now we need to have this thing moving. So he called me and he told me that let's start mobilizing. I'm going to create a group, add your members. You know, the good thing with me doing the internship at that particular time is because there was a diverse connectivity when it comes to the nutritionists in the country, the interns. You see, my classmates, we were still in that process of going for internship at Big Mamba. So I had someone who was stationed at Mama Lucy, another one Kenyatta, another one, the different sectors. And you see, like the SG, the same. So we picked someone and we mobilized and we came back, we came together to create now a movement for that. And the main core business of that was the internship. Actually, when we were starting the union, none of us was exposed in matters labor. No one, apart from maybe only two gentlemen. These were the only ones who were actually aware. So people had to go back and read about the labor laws in Kenya, the Constitution of Kenya, the human rights, the Health Act, the Nutrition Act. So you had to get accustomed and understand that. I remember the SG used to call me and tell me, you cannot fight what you don't understand. So when I send you a document, read it and you need to understand. So we got that. And what I can tell someone who thinks that internship is not something that is worth it, as I told you, nutrition is there are different subsectors of nutrition. When you're going for that internship, you'll get to know if you like talking, if you like clinical practice, if you like dietary, speaker mixing and such. So when you see the time that you're going to be doing that is long enough so that you'll be able to, even if it's like a passion that you've been thinking about, it will come out clearly because 1 year is a lot of time. But you see, when you go for a practicum for 6 weeks or 12 weeks, most of us go to 12 weeks. You are supposed to be at PIDS, you're supposed to be in the MCH, you're supposed to be everywhere in that 12 weeks. And you go one place 1 week. Because I remember I was attached at Muminawellness, and I was going for each section for 1 week. And you see some other sections, because I just agreed, I did not show up. And you see, yeah. So for this 1 year that you're going to be trained, you're going to get that technical exposure to understand if I like talking to people. You're going to go for community outreaches. If you get good preceptors, they will actually guide you on those outreaches and such. And you'll get to understand what you're supposed to be doing. Because I feel like most Kenyans, especially most nutritionists in Kenya, are really confused about the mandate of nutrition. They think that they should be in the hospital. That is the only thing that, if you tell a nutritionist, they tell you, I want to go to work in Kenyatta, I want to go to work in Mama Lucy. They don't know, like currently we have CHPs. Why don't we have nutritionists saying they want to go with CHPs? I currently want to go and work with them. That is what I want to do. Because that is where the change can actually happen. So, and that is where the most critical point of intervention is before the disease comes to be. So if we can actually go for this and they get good receptors, I am hopeful that things are changing because we have been moving around. So yeah, I think I can talk a lot. If you don't stop me, and I don't know.
No, but then I want you to talk of my channel is about nutrition, life, and experience. I feel like there are a lot of guided. I like to call them Gen Z nutritionists who actually don't. I don't know in school if you don't have mental. How much can you talk about they don't have. Half of them don't even know what they're supposed to do. They don't, and then. I think you had mentioned in the internship journey, there are some post-nutritionists. They don't like bashing people on the channel or anything, but there are some people who did not receive these interns well. Because for me, my experience was similar to yours. It wasn't really good because we had few nutritionists and then the other healthcare professions, so there's no point of having. So you can imagine the mistake you're going to get when you step into the world that people are looking at you like, who are you? Yeah, so I feel like...
You see in Kenya and in major counties like maybe Kiambu, Nairobi, and Kisumu, maybe Machakos and such, they have that outlook for students. You see, as a preceptor or as a professional, when you receive a student, you're not supposed to critique them. You're supposed to mentor them to becoming a good professional so that they can actually give back to the community and then uplift the profession. But unfortunately, it's not even in nutrition alone. It's in most cadres. So when you go to that preceptor, they start thinking now. You know, when you're a student, you get excited. When you're exposed to where you're told now you're supposed to learn this world. And when you get there with the excitement, with the theoretical practice, and the first thing that preceptor will tell you is that upper class, and then they will not show you how to navigate the upper class. They will just start making a point. They make it a point of like, because the only people which is so in front of patients, in front of other students, in front of other cadres, which is very demeaning, and we all understand the impact that such things have on the mental health. You've seen, like, there's a student who just committed suicide, an intern who's committed suicide up in Thika. We cannot have, we already have harsh conditions. I'm working for free, Monday to Saturday, and then you still want me now to be, to take in, your passion, negativity. No,
it's not even.
We need to do better. We need to.
I always when someone asks me, I always say, we need to do better.
We need to do better.
We need to do better. I know you won't mention the NAC people, but we also need to do better.
And another thing, the Nutrition Act of Kenya clearly states, if you're not ready to this one, clearly states that nutrition internship for bachelors, for nutrition officer. A nutrition officer is someone who has cleared bachelor's degree in the major institutions of Kenya. If you are an officer, you are supposed to go for internship. It's mandatory. It's just that the Ministry of Health and the Nutrition Dietetics units are just jokers because they don't have to streamline things for the nutrition professionals. Otherwise, we will have easier things. But it is mandatory. And I feel very annoyed when I get there's this circular that was going around, right? That was saying that the cadres that are supposed to be paid in internship in health are nurses, most, and clinical officers, which is quite pathetic because you cannot come and say that you only are acknowledging the three that are supposed to be paid, and we have laws like the Nutrition and Dietitians Act of 2007 that clearly stipulates that internship in nutrition is not mandatory. So you're not supposed, the ministry is failing, and we have actually brought that up in several occasions. After the case that was taken to court on the same, and we are hoping that we will have things to line. You cannot start saying that you're going to change laws so that you subject humans to inhumane conditions. That is so wrong. This time and era is not acceptable.
Yes, that is a very emotional topic and a very sore topic for me because the internship period wasn't really good for most of us, especially the first few cohorts that were set by the KNDI. We didn't receive a good reception. But apart from that, for me, I always tell everyone, please go for that internship. It will help you. So coming out of the internship and now you are a licensed certified nutritionist, can you tell us what's interesting about being a nutritionist? Like I want you to know the advantages. I go and discourage people from coming to do it.
No. Let's start with the trending thing. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. One of the core agendas is health and nutrition wellness. Like he has a specific agenda on nutrition and wellness. So that is currently a global trend. Whether you like it or not, we are affected by what the Western world does. So it's currently a global trend. Now, as a nutritionist, how can you leverage this? You can leverage this by being visible, and we can actually try and push the government, because again, the government's agenda of UHC, and I quote, acknowledges the importance of nutrition, but when it comes to implementation, that is where they have a lot of,
They draw the line, you're like,
but we cannot have, like seriously, we had the president the other day, which yesterday, he was claiming that he wants to now collect funds from professionals who are nutritionists, but when it comes to funding nutrition intervention, nutrition projects, paying nutrition interns, that is where the ministry, that is his government, draws the line. So you wonder why he wants to collect money from professionals and we cannot house and we cannot do. Very unfortunate. Anyway, now the advantages of being a nutritionist. I told you I can talk a lot.
2,000 years later.
The advantages of being a nutritionist. The main advantage of being a nutritionist is that you save lives. That's the only advantage and the most rewarding thing. Because if cases are well managed, like clinical cases, if you're in a clinical setup, I'm sure you have seen the power of nutrition interventions. How they bring back people to life, they reduce hospital stays, they improve and reduce mortalities in the hospitals from the various diseases that have been known to be culprits of malnutrition, like for something like cancer, HIV, tuberculosis, even the infectious diseases that we have, even accidents and burns. We'll see proper and improved outcomes with proper interventions and matters of nutrition. That's the first advantage. The second thing is, as a nutritionist, if you can capitalize on technology trends and social media, you can even have extra income as a wellness coach. Seriously, as a wellness coach, even if you're employed. Like today I got a call from someone who's employed and was like, I want to start running a wellness program. I was very impressed because I was like, now you have to do it and you have to help someone else to do it. Because you need to be creating relevant content, you need to be seen out there as people who are championing for holistic living. You know, unfortunately, these wellness coaches that have really trended, you find someone, and you know, unfortunately, people believe a lot of nonsense online. Someone says, I eat 6 eggs or 8 eggs a day and an avocado and tomatoes. That is the only thing that person eats from Monday to Friday. And you at home, because you're a consumer and you're a firm believer of that person, you actually believe that is the truth. Behind the scenes, those people are lying to you. Please get it, they're lying to you. They don't do that. So you need to make sure that I'm hoping that we have more professionals doing relatable, realistic and scientific conferences, content and that thing. Another advantage of being a nutritionist. If you're a nutritionist, like if you enter the market currently, you're lucky, because that's when you entered, you and me, we had only KNDI and the NAC. There are others who entered earlier, they had no KNDI or NAC. They were just there. It's very sad for them. I hope they are paid for therapy, because it must have been very, very hard to just get out of profession without structure, without nothing. But you see, for that someone who is actually entering the market currently, we have established structures. We have the union, we have the regulator, we have the associations. There are several. We have KENSA, we have NAC, we have SPIC, we have KEPONA. Those are some of the associations of nutrition in Kenya, and definitely we have we were awarded a directorate. And then unfortunately it has not been implemented. But you see, if it gets implemented, we also get to have a directorate at the national level. And if you go to these other counties, like something like Nairobi County, we have a chief, like a nutritionist is a chief. There's have chiefs in nutrition in the country. So there's a lot of hata kama watu wanapata kukubali the importance of nutrition slowly. And as a union, you're promising you're going to push it even further. So
we've had this from her. They're going to push. We need to train people up. And then before we go any further, you had mentioned, like in terms of digital content creation, for me, we are moving to the digital aspect of the people. There are some people, I feel like I want to mention their names, but I will not. On TikTok, there's a pharmacist somewhere, and then on X, there's someone who has masculine Saturday. Those people, I feel like they are misleading people. I feel like they do have the information. I listen to them and I do their content. But I feel like they have a lot of mass following. You as a nutritionist, when you go there to this thing, you'll get a lot of. So you as a practicing experienced nutritionist, where are we going wrong? Why are other wellness who have not done nutrition taking over the nutrition digital?
The two that you have mentioned, they have blocked me. But we thank God for the Elon Musk for Twitter, because nowadays I can still see their posts. If their post is public, I can still see them. I just can't interact with it. So they need to unblock me. Anyway, that's aside. You see, such people argue with hearsays and what is trending. So they go online and they search for Dr. Baz. Then they watch his 10 years ago videos. Then now they want to come and run with that. You see, because there's audience, there are people who are looking for miraculous ways. I saw the other day he was saying that if people drink lemon water and is it rice water, you combine a concoction, then you're supposed to lose weight in 7 days, and apparently sustain that weight. So we cannot ignore the effect or the science behind the nutraceuticals or the plant benefits of nutrition and the benefits of nature when it comes to managing diseases and actually reducing hunger pangs, increasing metabolism. But we cannot allow propagation of such false information. Now back to why nutritionists are not in that space. Creating content does not happen without. You are in that space. You have seen. I am also in that space. I have first-hand experience. So for you to have something to go viral, it doesn't happen overnight. You can get lucky, create a video, then have the views skyrocketing, and then the next videos nothing. It can happen. But you see, with nutritionists, because you see these pharmacists, they are trying to get away from their career because they are like, oh, pharmacy was maybe a mistake. So now they want to come in and occupy nutrition because they heard that Kenya does not have nutrition. But it is illegal for you to practice and to actually talk about nutrition. You're not a nutritionist in Kenya. And you're hoping our regulator is hearing this so that we have those people arrested. Yeah. Because it's very, very illegal. So we are actually hoping that we will have nutrition professionals being resilient enough. Because you see, when you start creating content, someone will come in, a follower from those wellness creators, and they will want to now start telling me, oh, you're telling me I just healed my dad. Just like the other day we went to a conference, someone stood up confidently and said that their dad was healed of diabetes. How do you heal diabetes? You can only believe it. So the misinformation is very bad, and we are hoping that we will have people who can actually comfortably create and be consistent in creating content about nutrition. I have seen good people come up with creating, like Jemima, I am mentioning. Jemima Smart Health. Please go back to creating content. we need good quality content out there. And another advantage of putting content in the health and nutrition space is global. That's why people are running for it. You know, when you're creating content about hair, not saying yeah. I'm specific about the target I want. An African black woman. But when I'm putting content about weight management, blood sugar control, anyone can consume that content. So once you understand that, people are actually that is one of the most competitive niche because everyone wants to create content that is global and that is evergreen. So as nutritionists, when you start creating content, what I usually do, I have several channels. You can have 2 or 3. Create things that you like, create things that will actually give you more views. But again, you need to understand how content works. Especially with YouTube and TikTok, you have to be consistent. If you're not, and do the live. If you're not, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. That's why nutritionists give up.
And then fighting those people with those huge numbers sometimes.
No, we have to
the
fight
backlash we get from their followers, their many followers, I always call it aside. They will discourage you and make you now start developing interest.
No, when you come across that, tag us. Me, I will come and fight. Then I'll get blocked. And you see, in the process of fighting, you're also getting a potential client.
Yeah.
So don't be scared. So if you know the fact, just make sure what you're arguing is factual, realistic, and makes sense. Then practice. Know what you do. No, me like I can confidently fight when it comes to matters nutrition. Where I don't know, I pause the fight, I go research, ask around, then come back. So just make sure that you're fighting because you are the champion of nutrition, and if you don't fight for that, Kenyans will get misled. And people will stop going to hospital in the name of they have been healed, their disease, they will die, people will die. Your parents will also get the information. You know, sometimes people think, oh, why should I actually go through this? I won't be affected. Your parent at home, you'll be shocked they'll be on that live taking notes, and you're there comfortably just ignoring it because you think, this will not affect me. It will bite you in the ass. You have to be careful.
So you as a practicing nutritionist, there's a lot of myths. This conflicting, like you can be a nutritionist in Nakuru, I'm a nutritionist in Nairobi, let's say Amos is a nutritionist in Kisumu, Michael is a nutritionist in Kisumu, and then we give each different information, and then a client comes and okay, mimi nisikia from daktari wa chakula aliniambia hivyo na niambia hivyo tutakuwa sawa.
Let me make one thing clear. Let me tell my people here, right? You know, most hospitals don't even have nutrition. Most wellness centers or even this, like you go to the Dr. Plaza, So what happens when this person goes there, they're written for nutrition review. Guess who will review them? It will either be a nurse or someone else who is not a nutritionist. Or a doctor or a CEO, I do not want to.
I also don't.
It's true, right? Now, and then, now if this person comes to you as a professional, like they come to you, they start looking for you when things are
Yeah.
they are a bit too late, and they know they start actually expect miracles.
Yeah.
They come to you, oh, I have been doing this and this, I've gone to a nutritionist in Kisumu, Aga Khan, I was here, oh, Mata. Those are the culprits that I've actually come across. And when you actually ask around or ask someone who's in that place, they tell you that place doesn't have a nutritionist. So sometimes people see people who are claiming to be nutrition. That is why our regulator needs to improve. Because you cannot have hospitals. Like my late grandmother, before she died, she was first admitted in a hospital in Kisumu. That hospital, her file clearly was indicating nutrition review. The file was well written, but there was no nutritionist in that hospital. I remember when I got there, I asked to see the nutritionist, and there was none. Then I asked them, why don't you have one? Oh, we have one on locum basis. She comes on Saturdays and then she goes. And it's a big hospital serving a lot of people. So that is so wrong. We need to have such things, and you see people are unemployed. So we are not working, and people are there suffering in the nutrition review in the name of reviews and making our professional look bad. So and that means nutrition. Because we have guidelines. Right? Any professional who is practicing, they know we have guidelines. We have guidelines from the Ministry of Health. We have guidelines that have been actually reviewed annually from both levels of government. We have SOPs on practice and stuff. So it is very rare for you to get very conflicting information from two nutritionists. It is not so common. Of course, we have those nutritionists who are coming in and they just want to be popular like the Americans. They want to now create conflicting content like this health and wellness doctor, whatever he calls himself.
And that's pharmacy.
Yeah. So they want now to start selling that agenda. Please don't sell an agenda to someone who wants to see the next day, because if they die, you'll not get that money. So you better protect their wealth, protect their health, and at least you're protecting your business as well. You see, and we as professionals, we should also normalize signing our work. You see, like when a doctor sees a client, they sign as they saw doctor, doctor so and so this patient. So we should normalize that, because when we do that, we are actually reducing the number of costs. Because if you sign as a nutritionist and you're not, you're definitely a part and you should be a best. So we should normalize doing these good practices, these professional practices that we have neglected for the longest time. We need to start talking about.
But I feel like we're getting better. Like things are getting better. Considering from 2018 up to now,
a lot has changed.
Things have really changed. That's why I'm encouraging the interns and the students. Don't you come here and talk?
Yeah.
So that they know like it's safe to go to internship technology. Actually, even the healthcare team, they know what is about.
We'll return after these messages.
That you get into a ward that someone does not know what you're supposed to do, and they're like, Munafanya, I don't even know go back there.
No, they tell you that we have been giving these patients yogurt and mala, and that's a diabetic patient. And us telling you comfortably and expecting you to actually say, okay, go ahead. I refused by them. Yeah, I refused. That's why I before.
Then they're like, no, you're na marimbo, and they have been working for almost 20 years. I don't know if someone has ever used that line.
You know, let me tell you, working for even 30 years, even with 20, working for 30 years, and you're doing relevant and shady work does not make you a good professional. You know, currently we have a lot of exposure when it comes to data and information. And fortunately, we have nutrition-specific conferences. KNDI, there's one, there's cancer, and we also have other counties like Nairobi Health Bears, Kwale Health Bears. So there's a lot of light on matters health and nutrition. So as a professional, all you have to do is just go to like, even if you come to my inbox, me I share the ones that I have. I'll share, I have no issues. But that was in Isumbu at you now start telling me explain page what. I did not write the books. I did not write them. So I go through them, and what you see that is not conflicting, again, there are updated versions of those guidelines as well. And you see, for clinical practice, we have several practices which you get Kenyan Nutritionist on the channel. It's very good with the clinical aspect of the nutrition. So we should all be willing to learn and unlearn. Research does not come to make you feel like you don't. It comes to empower you with knowledge. So whether tuliambiwa in the maybe 10 years ago we were told this is good, and now the research has said that it is not good, it's okay to unlearn it. It's very okay to unlearn it. So because data is there to actually help us be better professionals, be better nutritionists, and actually serve the Kenyan population. So we need to
follow her on TikTok.
Follow me on all socials, Mumina Wellness.
LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn as well. I am a serious professional.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so this next segment, I don't know how we can face it so that it's not solely negative. Some of the challenges we face, I don't know, there have been much to go about, but you can just highlight some of the challenges and how you overcame the challenges for a nutritionist just starting and they're wondering, how will I get where she is right now? Some of the challenges and how you overcame them.
You know, yesterday there's this guy called Mr. He's a registered dietitian. He practices in the United States of America, and he's also doing real estate. Yesterday on LinkedIn, he posted a post. We are lucky to be born in a country where hard work pays. So as a nutritionist, when I registered Mumina Wellness, it was 2016, when I decided, okay, fine, I had to practice. It was in 2016. I started Mumina Wellness because I had applied for jobs and nothing was forthcoming, nothing good was forthcoming. You see, I was getting locums. I still do locums, but if you have locums, not call, do not avoid calling me. Please call me. Now, we were doing that. So I remember when I registered that company, I wrote a profile, I got an score. So I went to the specific counties, like I remember I went to Kiambu, I went to Nairobi, I went to Machakos, I've been called by several people from those counties, but I'm sure they were calling me just formality so that they can say they had engagements and audience that were rendering business. So I wanted to do health and wellness in the countries. Then I realized for me to do this, I need a good travel. And that has been my biggest challenge. The fact that you cannot do something good just because it's good in Kenya. You have to really, if you don't have a godfather, literally drag yourself to them. Literally, not even crawling, you drag. Because by the time you get to the crawling phase, you have to have really drag them. So I think I've done my dues when it comes to dragging, so I'm on the crawling phase. We are doing well. But what we are actually hoping to do, as a union, what we are actually hoping to do is ensure that we don't drag as much. We have made proposals, we have made submissions on the importance of establishing wellness centers, and the regulator promised that we will guide on that, whereby we can have established wellness centers. So if you have a wellness center, please have it so that we can have that pool whereby professionals can come in, they work in a center like the way we have the Plaza, so we have nutrition and wellness centers in the specific counties, the different counties, so that we improve reach and we also have employment for the people that is not employed. So what we are promising professionals is that there will be things will be better. But again, as I've said, we have to, now we are crawling. Let's crawl until we can. Let's be hopeful and let's be practical in what we're doing. That was one of the biggest challenges. Another challenge was, of course, when, now I don't know if I'm speaking as a nutritionist or a cleaner, but when you go to these professionals who have been practicing, they feel like you're there to fight them. No one wants to fight you. No one. Why would I feel threatened that George and his team is coming? I should be encouraged. I should be proud. Because you see, only a fool thinks that they will reign forever. You can't be there forever. There will come a time for you to exit. When you exit, who takes up? What do they have? What do you impact them? That is your legacy. But unfortunately, people don't understand that. People still think, oh my God, they are coming to take my space. They are coming to take my job. Someone, you see, on the CHPs, you remember we were fighting them. Then someone told me, you cannot start fighting CHPs. It is very wrong for you to fight the CHPs because they have come to actually do what they are supposed to do. They're supposed to fight to make sure that whatever they are doing is right. You see, so that when they go and say they actually identified a case that needs nutrition intervention, is a nutritionist on call or on reach who can actually go and address the household setup and such. So they're doing counseling to make sure that counseling is done right. So sometimes instead of fighting, learn to work because we have different strengths. Like you see, for those professionals who are there, they have better people skills. Because you see, when you work with people for long, that cannot be long. You cannot start working today and have better people skills than someone who has worked for 10, 20 years. That is impossible. Eh? So that person who has been there for the long period of time, they have better people skills. They understand how to convey and communicate. They might not know the language or they might not even understand the fluency that is needed, but they might know how to actually get to that level, how to actually get to that CNC, how to actually get to that president. So we need to make sure that we are working together. And you see, let's say now our generation, we are confident. We are able to talk on camera. Most people are not. Imagine that's something I've come to realize. I thought it was easy, but people are not. So you see, with that, now we blend. Let's see how we can capitalize on the boomers. Now they are. Then the George, they are tech savvy.
Yeah, they're Gen Z.
They're tech savvy. They are fast. They want things moving fast. How can we liberate and how can we actually tap on their
potential and
yeah,
help them
and
the
propel the
coming,
nutrition agenda. At the end of the day, what we want is a pool of professionals who are motivated, who are willing to move, who are making noise. Please make noise about nutrition. That's the goal.
Yeah.
If you
And
achieve
then,
that,
just to go back to what you said like you feel like some people are pushing and you're working towards the same goal. Nutritionists among ourselves, how we really love each other? Do we really want to see us move ahead when we are there to, like, this one is coming to check my market, I will not tell you. That's the competition.
the competition is so, and unfortunately, you see, I don't want to mention cadres, but other health cadres. When an intern comes in, like when I was in Pika, there was this doctor, she's very good, she's a pediatrician, she's called Dr. Misoti. I used to admire how she used to work, because she used to know if you're placed at that specific ward, she would actually call you back. She would ask your name today and actually call you back. And then she will tell you, she will ask you if you did not do this right, go ahead and actually ask and plan about it. Then tomorrow she will confirm if you actually did it. You see, now that someone may think that is so wrong, and that is not wrong, because you see what nutritionists do, they don't tell you to go and learn, then they come and confirm, or they see what you have actually wanted to say, if it was practical or not. They don't. They just want to bash you to look like you don't know what you're doing. It's just so as professionals, I hope, because again, people are exiting, people are retiring, so people are going home to rest, and the ones that are remaining, I hope that we will reduce the limiting mindset that we have, that you have to compete with those who are. You cannot give intervention to 50 million Kenyans. You need help. In fact, as a country, we don't even have enough. According to population needs, we don't even have enough professionals. So we can all be practicing and still not actually get enough numbers. What we need to do, we need to capitalize on being visible. The digital world, you cannot avoid not being visible. You cannot hope that, I'll be stayed in my clinic, then people will just tune in and I will start getting consultations. You will cry. You will cry.
A day will pass, you've only seen one person and then
you will not even see
start asking.
person. You will not even see
and actually if you're doing locum and you're not bringing in the money for the hospital, they'll be looking at you like,
what are you doing?
what are you doing? Yeah, you cannot be paying me and you're not bringing in money. So you need to be visible and as we close down today's episode, I want you to give that word of encouragement to anyone. It can be an older boomers, a millennial nutritionist or like me, because I feel like this is just how we refer to each other.
Nutrition is powerful. Nutrition is powerful. Let's understand what we train to do. When you understand your craft, you're able to do your best. So let's avoid being negative. Let's mentor. I appreciate what NARC is coming up with. They're coming up with a mentorship program whereby we have professionals mentoring into the profession. This is very important because in the last few years we've had a lot of people exiting the profession because of the unpaid internship, the lack of employment for those that have practiced and those that have actually trained. People have left the profession. So for retention purposes, we have NAC came up with a mentorship program, and we appreciate that a lot because that will give room for us to actually empower and help others grow. And another thing, let's remember we are fighting against the government, not against each other. We want a directorate, so we are fighting as nutritionists against the government. We are not fighting any nutritionist in any office. That is what we need to understand. And you see, when you have that, when you are a supervisor, or when you are a head of department, or when you are a CNC, and that's beautiful council, and you know you need nutritionists, please have the reports right. Let people get it right. Reduce with the perceived, you cannot block God's blessing. Like you're not God. You let them because it blocks to moja, but eventually that person is supposed to come and take the job they need. So let's allow you to discuss, let's do what we are doing. Let's be good and let's continue improving on ourselves. You know, learning never stops. You know, when you graduate, you're given the power to do. That is when you're now ready to start reading. Now you can now start researching, you can start writing articles, you can start writing actually well-established books and such things. Because you've been given, you've been trained and now you're ready. Now it doesn't stop there. So when you go at home after graduating, don't just sit at home waiting for employment to come. Please start doing something. Hata kama ni kuingia TikTok live, talk about diabetes, talk about, just make sure that you're factual. Please don't, let's shy away from being propellers of misinformation. It's good to want to trend, it's good to want to, you can dance. There are trending videos for dancing. Or you can do something else. Get something going. You know, if you sit down and wait, whether you're a nutritionist or any other profession, you'll be frustrated and you'll be late. Again, there are opportunities that you can do, remote work for nutrition, learn different languages so that you can capitalize on those as well. Just be the best version of yourself, and above all, let's pray. Pray for the profession, pray for intervention from the Most High, and pray for yourself. As a professional, I know it's hard. Sometimes it's very challenging, let's say when you're placed somewhere alone, you have no one to actually help you with, students don't want to come, interns don't want to kukuja, you're frustrated. Please write as many reports as you can that you need nutritionists, and let your counties actually adapt and employ. And another thing, if you're a custodian of any office or you're an unemployed nutritionist, please fight for those that are not employed by writing good reports, identifying the gaps. You know, sometimes we know the gaps are there, but you see Kenya Kwanza wants to work with data, which is a good thing, very good. So make sure that you have it written down. There are gaps at the MCH because then we have food trained nutritionists. There are gaps at pediatrics because we have like 10 cubes, we only have one nutritionist. There are gaps even in autism. And if you need help, we are open. Reach out.
The offices are open. Online platforms are open. Anyways, that's all I had for today. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. It has been very interesting. I think you can talk.
I can talk. Oh my God.
On top of everything, like we've not even addressed half of what nutritionists go through, nutritionists face in our day-to-day life. But I feel like this is a conversation, a continuing conversation. I'm sure I'll be bringing more people. So thank you.
Thank you for watching. Bye. And make sure you subscribe. Subscribe, like, and share with the nutritionists
out there.
Please share.
Thank you. So